Hi everyone! I have a book review today on Dark Desire by Kristin Feehan. And I just finished this a bunch of seconds ago. I always love these books. I do! Even though some of the characters are not always my favorite. Like in this one, none of these characters are my favorites. But there was so much humor in here that, like, this book, there's never been this much humor that I have listened to with the audiobooks or read, the very few that I have read, has had this much humor in here. And I have a quote here from one of the characters that I insanely loved, but there was another one that I read recently in the last 2 days. Okay, here it is. You persist in being my doctor when I so need my life mate to come and lie beside me. This was said by Jacques. And that's not the funniest, and the way I'm reading it is not all that funny, but, like, in this situation, it's like, you persist on being my doctor when I so need my life mate to lie beside me. It's funny. It is so funny. And there's a bunch of times when they're speaking, and it's just, oh my god! And the situation around these people that are talking, and it's very hilarious what they're saying, but the situation around them is the most horrendous thing that's happening. Yeah, I love, like, these funny moments, and this is the only book that has had this much funny moments. I've never felt myself laughing this much. Now, okay, let's get to the characters. Shay is has a very analytical mind, and she is not a very emotional person, and because of stuff that happened in her childhood, it was not the best childhood that anyone should have, and so she always kept her emotions at bay and had a very scientific, logical mind, and tried to think things out and do all that logical stuff. And I like her, and she has reactions to stuff that I react kind of the same way. It's very emotional. Even though she's a very logical person and pushes all of her emotions away, and when something as traumatizing and as scary as becoming a Carpathian, or a full Carpathian, because she's only half Carpathian, to let you know that because of her childhood, she always pushes her emotions away and tries to think of stuff logically and very calmly and all that such. But the situation of becoming a full Carpathian, a lot of her emotions are, she can't just push them away, and I have the same thing as her. She just lets, her emotions just come out, and she feels very scared, and she doesn't, and feel very out of control, like she's not in control anymore. And I get that same way too. Not exactly the same way as she does, but just a similar way. And though I don't mesh with her completely on a personality length, she's not my favorite person. And the way she reacts to certain stuff, and the way she thinks, and how she thinks things through. Holy crap. But I have the same sort of, a lot of words and talking I can't say. So basically, she's not my favorite, but she's a very good character, and I kind of connect to her on a bit of the emotional level and how she reacts emotionally. But yeah. Now Jacques, our male character, I don't like him in the beginning. And he was in the first book, Dark Prince. I don't particularly like him, but, first off, in the first book, you don't really have that much of a deep connection with him. But when you get to this book, it's obviously his book, so you connect with him on a deeper level. Now at the beginning, because he is basically a deranged man from being tortured for a lot for years, some people would be like very drawn to him and be very, you know, sympathetic. Yes, I am quite sympathetic because like this is a character that you're supposed to fall in love with, and eventually I do, but at the beginning, for like, it's like, I don't like this situation. I very much do not like the situation and the word that I didn't have before to describe the way these men are is arrogant. There's like this old world male macho beat their chest arrogance that you don't like. But with the women in this situation helps to remove a lot of that arrogance. And they still have it, but because they're women, again, is their other half, it helps with, you know, redeeming them. And get back to Jacques. Again, I don't really like him in the beginning, but I think that's the point, is that at the very beginning, he's not the most nicest of people because of the situation he was put in. But eventually, and this is about chapter 7, when the plot and the story starts really picking up. The first 7 chapters were like, they're okay and all that such, but chapter 7, chapter 8, and beyond, which is like the next 10 to 11 chapters, depending on if it was starting at chapter 7 or chapter 8, because there's only 18 chapters in this book. So about that point, it's like the majority of the book was all action-packed and like very good, and I started to really understand and like Jacques and the way he was becoming. So though these two characters are not my personal favorites, again, I love Razvan. Razvan will be my #1 male for all time until I reread some of the books that I listened to, and I actually, because I forgot to mark off Dark Prince. I will be reading Dark Destiny. I listened to that forever ago, and it was one author. So we'll find out if I like that couple. The same thing, Dark Curse was my first introduction to this, and it was Dark Curse or Dark Destiny, one of the two. And I think in the previous book review, I said Dark Curse, that male was my favorite, but no. But we will see once I actually reread. So those are the only 2 left that I have to reread to find out how I like those characters. But I know Dark Slayer with Razvan I would love. And I'm getting all over the place with this book review. So Shay and Jacques, they have a relationship that, you know, I do grow to like. I don't love this relationship just because of the situation that happened in the beginning, but you know, some things that happen, you kind of, it has to grow on you. Those things, it has to grow on you, and this relationship does grow on me, and I like the growth and the path that these 2 characters grow on and will keep going on, because they are both quite mentally damaged characters. Jacques was very physically damaged in the beginning, but you know, with Carpathian blood and the healing soil, actually his body gets, you know, his strength is restored, and you know, that has a quicker thing. But mentally, I did enjoy the journey these 2 go on as a couple, and as like, you know, mentally like getting over their hurdles, and like with Jacques, his memory is basically shot because of the trauma that he went through, and he has a bit, like, it's like basically amnesia is what he's going through, but slowly he gets his stuff back, and it's just a process, and that's what I liked. And then the actual plot, the reason of him being tortured, which basically, the plot line of this is basically tied in with the first book, and this basically, it ties it off, so I don't know how the rest of the series goes on, but I will find out with the third book in the series. I liked the path of the actual danger part and the mystery part of this book, because we're always told of, you've got two human torturers that Jacques is basically gonna kill, and then a betrayer that he knew, but, you know, betrayed him and all that such. So we're always told that, basically, from his point of view, and, well, not his point of view, but from his situation. And then Shay basically is like, she's got that thinking too, and then like the rest of the characters, and so on and so forth. I liked how it tied in with the first one, and then this is basically tied off because, well, our villains are basically killed. Which is good. I like that. I'm having a very bad time trying to do this review. Sorry, and my bra strap is being really annoying. It's not staying where it should on my back, but anyway. The plot line, I'm getting hot for some reason. The plot line of the betrayer is one of the coolest things I have read. I've read a bunch of really cool situations that happen, and how the betrayer actually ties in with Shay is like really cool. At first, I thought it was this other character that gets introduced, and it's one of Jacques' family, like his actual, like, you know, all the Carpathians are basically tied together in blood and family, because they're a species all to themselves. But, you know, like, there's the immediate family of, like, Mikhail, Jacques, Noel, and Raven tied it and being life mate to Mikhail, and that sort of thing. Wow, I've lost my train of thought. Right, you know, like, these characters that come in, and the whole family dynamic, and one of the characters that comes in, you already know him, and Kristin puts doubt in your brain about this character, and I'm like, no, I don't want this character to, you know, be the betrayer, and I don't want that. No. Cause, like, if I remember in my brain with Dark Curse and Dark Slayer, I remember that character being in those books, and I'm like, wait, no, this can't be true about this character. No. And a part of me was like, I need to go into my books and be like, read the back. I need to find this character. I need to make sure he's good. But I'm like, no. Do not do that, because you're going to spoil yourself. Just read it, and you will, you know, find out all of that such. So, I did that, and I waited, and I read, and I'm like, oh, thank God. I read that, like, yesterday, that whole situation. I'm like, oh, my heart can stop pounding. Then we get another character, and, you know, doubt is thrown on Shay and Jacques, and I'm like, no, it is not true. I know this is not true. So shut up, you character. Shut up, you bad person. Just like literally yesterday I was having like this I was making all those weird sounds, and while my sister was like, she had come home from school, I'm making all these sounds, and like part of the back of my brain is like, she's probably thinking you're nuts, and like she probably doesn't fully understand what's going on with her having Down syndrome, but she's probably like laughing at me like, oh, it's funny, something's funny. She's, oh my God, this book was good. Like, everything weaved together, like on a general basis, everything together was very good. I think I read this before, or I listened to it. I can't remember, but I know, like, part of my brain was like picking up memories, like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember this a little bit, or like, not really remember specifically, but I remember like, oh, this character is coming. Oh, I know the situation with this character, like I know what it's leading up to, sort of thing. And it's good. I like that feeling. I love that intense feeling I get when, like, you know, if like a reread, if you haven't read it in like years, sort of situation. And that's what I felt here. But I gotta talk about the situation of like a first-time reader. Just the feeling of like, no, it can't, like, of like the doubt thrown on one of these characters that you know from the first book, and then the whole doubt thrown on Shane Jocks, and it's like she doesn't want, she's afraid of commitment because of the trauma in childhood trauma in her past, obviously her past. She's afraid of commitment and afraid of the emotional of all that such. As I said, she pushes her emotions away because she doesn't want to deal with them. Because, you know, that makes her out of control. She wants to be in control. Basically how I feel sometimes. I want to be in control. When I don't feel in control, I feel like, yeah. And then with Shocks, with his whole, like, amnesia, like, it's not full amnesia, it's an, I don't remember, there are like two kind of types of amnesia. One of them is like, you're never gonna get your memories back. They're like destroyed. The other one is your memories are there, but they're just blocked, and you need to be doing stuff, you need to talk to people so that it, like, basically it's a bunch of walls blocking certain information, or like little black bubbles that are holding certain information, because you're not gonna always have like you're going to read something and then like all of this memory just floods through your brain and all that such. But that can happen too. But with Jacques, it's like a bunch of bubbles where it's like one gets opened and he's got that memory, sort of, that sort of amnesia situation where you only get bits and pieces and it's not a full puzzle. It's like, this is from like, maybe with his situation, maybe like 2 months ago, or like this happened like 200 years ago, sort of situation of like the Carpathians and Jacques. So there's his personality, he was, you know, he grew up molding before the trauma, and then there's what the trauma did to him, so it molded his current personality into something different. So there's both, like, they were already doubting each other, and like she wasn't ready for, like, you know, you have to stay here in the committed relationship and supposedly be obsessed. And then like he's terrified of being alone and being in the dark, and just like a lot of that. And he says a line that's like, God, see, my own brain likes to do that too. Like, I have this train of thought, like if I'm just talking to myself or I'm trying to explain something, and all of a sudden, poof, that part of the line is like, nope, Kristin, you're not having that train of thought anymore. Not anymore. So there's just, this book has a lot of like mystery and doubt put on characters, and just a lot of feels, like a lot, not just sexual feels, like the sex is actually really good, but there's a lot of like, just a lot of feels, and a lot of like, I don't like that I've been thrust into, this is the whole situation throughout this whole book of Shay, is that she is thrust into this situation of becoming Carpathian, having zero knowledge of anything, and like, just okay. So my I recorded like 23 minutes, almost 24 minutes, and just like it cut off. It doesn't like recording for that long of a period, so this memory card, so sorry. And I was just talking about how just the whole situation in the book is like, her emotional trauma is affecting how she's dealing with the situation, and the fact that, you know, she's having a similar situation to what her mother went through, and how, like, the feelings, sort of. Just, I should just stop. Just a lot, there's just way too much emotions, and I was talking for a long time, and I don't know exactly what I'm talking about anymore, because that's what my brain does. It just talks and talks, and, you know, I can't pull that train of thought out of my head. I can pull some of it, but it's like, I can't explain it the way I was wanting to explain it anymore. But this book was good. Again, I can't say that these characters are my favorite, but I do understand them on, like, a broken level, that my brain just, my brain is horrible to me. Like, it's kind of horrible with them, but with Jacques, it's more like the amnesia part. And with Shay, I don't know, how do I connect with her on a broken... Well, hers is like, she doesn't want to deal with emotions, because emotions just, like, cloud everything, and blah blah blah. But yeah, I recommend this book. This was just an emotional book, and not just sexually. Sexually, it was great. Oh, I gotta talk about sex. I forgot to talk about sex. It has just enough sex as the first one. There's always going to be at least 5 scenes of sex, and that's really great. And they're in-depth scenes. Yeah, so it's good. It's really good, and I recommend it. Though I'm not... And the part I do like about Jacques is that he loves that Shay has a very intellectual, logical mind, and, like, she thinks more, like, scientifically, or, like, I don't know. She just, he likes the way she is, and it's that she's not, well, our first Raven was, like, she's very compassionate in her thinking, whereas Shay, she doesn't want to deal with the emotional, just because of what she thinks it'll do to her. Yeah. But now I've lost my train. I keep losing my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just recommend it. I recommend it very much. It's, like, yeah. All of these books have so many different men and personalities, and I haven't even read them all. I don't remember all of them. I just know Razvan is, he's a very accepting, and he's a very romantic character, and he's not arrogant, okay? He's not, you know, domineering, as far as I'm remembering. And I love that. I loved reading about that type of character, because as far as the other books that I've listened to and read, they're all very arrogant sons of bitches. Yes. So, I recommend this book. I recommend this series. And on her website, there are people who, you know, love each different man. Ugh. I need to stop talking, because I'm embarrassing myself with, like, I'm losing my train of thought. So yeah, I recommend this book. It was very good. It was very good, and I love the sort of emotional roller coaster I went on. Some people won't like that, but sometimes you're going to. Especially if there are different aspects of this book that makes it really good. So yeah, and because I finished this as fast as I did, like literally like 6-ish days, I'm going to read another one of my personal books. It is book 3, Dirt Gold by Kristin Feehan. Oh, I did not even notice that this was a person there. All I really ever noticed was, like, this very golden eagle picture, like that. Now, I will be picking up, because it's in at the library now, I will be picking up the next book in the Graham Scottish book series, but I will be finishing this first, because it took me 6 days to finish Dark Desire and 6 days to finish Dark Prince. So, like, the night I finished the library book, I started Dark Prince, And like the same day I finished Dark Prince, I started Dark Desire. So I'm gonna start this today with watching stuff and editing videos. I am editing videos. Yay! So yeah, I'm gonna start reading this. And I should be finished this the day I pick it up. If not, like the day after. And then I will start reading that one because like I get 3 weeks with that and I should be finished it in like 2 weeks. I know I'm estimating, but let's get to this because this is getting to be a very long video. They were masters of the darkness, searching through eternity for a mistress of the light. Was he a man or a miracle? Alexandra Houghton? Houton? Houghton? Because I want to say Houston, but I don't like, you know, without the S. So Houghton. But anyway, Alexandra would sacrifice anything, even her life, to protect her orphaned little brother. But when both encounter unspeakable evil in the swirling San Francisco mist, Alex could only cry to the heaven for their deliverance. Alright, I'm a little confused at that, but whatever. And out of the darkness swooped Aiden Savage, a golden being more powerful, more mysterious than any other creature of the night. The ageless Carpathian male snatched them from a hideous fate. But was Aiden a miracle or a monster? Alex's salvation or her sin? If she surrendered to Aiden's savage, unearthly seduction, give him the color, the light, the family he craved, would Alex truly save her brother or sacrifice more than her life? Alright, half the time I get confused by these back things. But then other times it's like, oh my god, it's the best book ever. Interesting. A little preview. The power of suggestion. I'm not afraid of you, Aiden Savage. What more can you do to me? Kill me? Alexandra said bravely. His golden eyes were ice cold, and a chill went down her spine. Do not presume to fight me, Alexandra. You are a mere fledgling. I, one of the ancients of our people. You have no conception of the power I wield. I can make the earth move beneath your feet and the lightning crack above your head. I can call the fog and become invisible. There was no boasting in his voice, just fact. Alexandra swallowed hard. That can't be. I can do things you cannot imagine. He said softly. And suddenly there were images in her mind. Hot, erotic things she had no real knowledge of. Her kneeling at his feet, touching him, her mouth moving over him, his powerful body atop of hers, commanding hers, taking her hot and furiously. He was taunting her with fantasies. Holy shit. They're just basically talking about getting oral on her knees. And then being taken. Wait, hold on. Do not tempt me to prove my words, Alexandra, because there will be no turning back. Oh my! Alright, so there's no prologue. I found that out before when I was doing stuff. But let's see how many chapters there are. There's different typing in this book. What? No. Chapter 2? Why do we get to... Oh. Why are you giving me a preview for C.L. Wilson? I want to flippin'... and you got a stupid prologue? Oh, look at all that. Now give me the actual end of my book's chapters. 18 chapters. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, what did I want to look in here for? I don't know why. See, look, there's just this single chapter, page I mean. There's half a page, and then that's the end of the book. This one, there's a whole flippin' 3 chapters at the end of the book. So yeah, I hope you liked this it's gonna be at least 30-minute video. Or maybe 45 minutes. I don't know. Because, sorry, itchy. Because I was talking for at least 20 good minutes about this book, and I lost the train of thought. And then there was this stuff, and all that such. So yeah, I hope you liked this really long, really weird book review, and you can hit that like button down below if you did. And you can leave your comments down below if you read the book, if you've read the series, how you liked it, who's your favorite Carpathian male, Also let me know if there's a favorite female you like. I haven't really found a favorite female. Though I'm very close to maybe saying Shay is my favorite. Because of just the way that, not the fact that she thinks more logically, but how we react emotionally. That's sort of, yeah. And, yeah. Just don't be negative, don't be nasty, because we do not need that in the world, okay? And, you know, yeah, we don't need to put people down. We do not need to make them feel like they're crap, okay? Okay. And if this is the first time you're watching my video, please hit that big red subscribe button down there by my picture for more book reviews, unboxing, unbagging, because some things come in a bubble wrap manila envelope or a plastic bag wrap thingy, hauls, vlogmas, random vlogs, and random videos. I have no idea what to categorize. And I'm going to leave you because I'm going to keep blathering on, and I'm embarrassing myself. I just did with that finger pointing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!